Hi there, you are tuned into Beauty and Braids, the podcast where I, Karyne, has conversations about all things relevant to personal growth and development. Just a heads up, I'm unfiltered. You're welcome.
Hey guys, this week has been a little, you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely a little drained because it's that time of the month. Okay, I know it might be TMI, but hey, this is about personal growth and development. This is what happens to us. Okay, this is what happens to me. And sometimes I need 1 or 2 days to just unplug and gather my energy. Today I did want to talk about the privilege of access. And there are so many people who don't understand what access means and how much of a gift it is to receive access. And there's different levels to it in different situations that I will be talking about when it comes to access. You know what I'm saying? And this is brought up because, okay, I feel like a lot of people don't understand what access means and how much access they have and how much access they can give out to people that is not them. Okay, so a few people have done this in my life, and those people are no longer in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like on some honest stuff, like me, I'm open to everybody and stuff like that. But when it comes to my space, my phone number, my home, all of that stuff is privileged. Okay? Like, I have to protect myself as much as I can. And when it comes to my home, I do not give out my address. A lot of people don't know where I live. I have family members that don't know where I live. You know what I'm saying? My dad doesn't know where I live. Like, because you just don't know everybody and their intentions when it comes to your home, right? And I'll go more onto that. And then, okay, so let's just go to that first. When it comes to my home, a lot of people don't know where I live. You know what I'm saying? When they don't know where you live, they're trying to figure it out. Then you have stalkers, you have all this extra stuff. So I keep it very limited, okay? And some people who know where I live, they do not visit often because I do not invite people often. Like, there's people who have slept over my apartment, and those are people that is super close to me. There's people that slept over my apartment that I ain't close to anymore. It just changes. Life changes. That's one of the things that is constant in life is change. So I'm just I'm really serious about my place where I stay, who comes in, because they come with their own energies, they come with their own baggage and their thoughts and their drama and stuff like that, and you don't want to bring that, okay? Listen, somebody wrote BITCH on my front door a few years back. I don't know who did that, okay? So let's just say I was like, seriously though, like, who knows I'm here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna front like I am the most liked person in the world. People come meet me and be like, I don't see how anybody could not like you. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna rub some people off wrong. I'm rub people wrong, and I'm gonna rub people right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not everybody is gonna think the same. I'm gonna disturb some demons in some people, okay? Me living my life the way I want to live it is going to make other people feel uncomfortable, and they're not going to like it. I could say something and not realize it might offend somebody because of what their experiences are, without me even knowing. And the person will not communicate that, so I won't know. Like, that's happened to me when it comes to stuff that people say, and they just judge, and they talk, and it's all this stuff, and then I'm looking at them like, well, if that's how you think about certain people, then maybe I can't really rock with you, because you're talking about me and not realizing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of the ignorance that a lot of people have, and they don't know. You know what I'm saying? They just think, oh, they just assume something about you is different, and you can't possibly be the type of people that they're talking about. And for me, I'm like, I'm from Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm who I is. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't expect it, and I surprise them all the time, because I'm like, yo, y'all need to start realizing there's amazing people wherever they grow up, wherever they live, wherever, and you have to respect that. You can't just paint everybody with one brush. Right. So okay, let's go back. This person had asked me for my information, my contact information, my address, for a contract or something. And I mean, I didn't feel I do not put my apartment on any documents that is not a official document. Like I'm like, why do you need my entire address? Like, you're not like super established and official that you need my address. Like, anytime somebody's like, oh, okay, rewind, I'm gonna go back to this. I had a volunteer wanting to work for me. Volunteer for me, and she asked me for my address, my social security number, all of this stuff, and I was just like, what? First of all, you're a volunteer at my organization. Why are you asking me for my personal information as the founder of the nonprofit? Nobody would ask a founder, a CEO, any no personal information like that, talking about you're getting a background check, but I need that. You need that information of my personal stuff. I'm like, you must think I am a fool. Okay? No. Like, me, I have common sense. Okay? I've been born in Brooklyn, and one of the things I have accumulated is common sense. Okay, I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And I got a bank load. Okay, I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, wait, what? Where how do I turn you down as professionally as possible? Because this is very unprofessional for you to ask anybody, especially a founder, or you can say an employer. You ask for their social, like their address, no, that sounds more of a scammer than anything. And it's a volunteer. Like, first of all, you're volunteering. I'm not paying you to do this. Like, you're asking for too much. I don't know you at all, so there's no background check that I have done on you to know that you are legit. Like, I can't trust you. Like, what's going on? Like, people be like, chummy, and the thing is, when people meet me, like, I am so friendly that people will be like, oh, you're my best friend. I'm like, no, I am not your best friend. Okay, I am a person that you are associated with, you know who I am, you talking to me and things like that, but I don't know nothing personal about you. You don't know nothing completely personal about me. We don't know each other's family. We didn't grow up to, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sets, there's some boundaries there. Like, you are crossing it. Like, the access is limited, okay? There are certain levels to the access pass that you have in everybody's lives. Like, for me, when especially when you're working with celebrities or anything like that, the access that you are granted in those relationships, you have to have a trust. Like, you have to earn a trust before you gain access to XYZ, and then you get access to a little bit more once you proved yourself. People be trying to get to the finish line before they even got up the stairs. Like, you like, hold up, there is a whole bunch of stairs before you get to the penthouse. What are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I always, side eye, and I'm very observant. I'm very quiet. I could talk and crack jokes, but I'm really looking at people. Oh, my plant. I need to water my plant. My plant looking a little crazy. I got a snake plant in my room and it's looking a little. Okay, anyways, I'm back on topic. But yeah, so I was just like, no. Now, so this person with the contract and asking me for my information or whatever. So I put my address without my apartment. I'm like, let me just use this because the person already just seemed a little bit shady to me, because I don't think you need that for a release, a photo release. You don't need a person's home address. You don't, because I have photo releases and I don't need anybody's photo for their address. I just need their name and their signature, a date. Okay, that's basically all the information you need. You can acquire maybe an email address, but a home address, that's a little bit too personal. That's it. No. So now come to find out, good thing I'm with my gut. The person gonna send me some information like a screenshot, like, hey, I'm mailing you something, check your mail. Like, what? Like, who gave you permission to mail me something? Like, what? Like, suppose I did give you your address and you couldn't, then you probably would have just showed up at my apartment. Like, no, you have to ask. Just because someone puts information on a paper, the information that was put on that paper was for solely that, a photo release, not to receive mail and packages and shipping. No, that is not. You start, every time you get something from somebody, you now have to find permission professionally, especially a professional. Like, if you're trying to be professional, yeah, you have to ask permission. You can't just start sending people stuff through the mail. Like, you got to be like, hey, is it okay for me to mail something to you? Can I verify the address that you have given me? Thank you. That is the professional way to do it. You don't screenshot something and then be like, hey, this is a tracking number, I'm sending you something. Like, bruh, what? To my home? First of all, people have P.O. boxes for stuff like that. Ask for that information. Like that is just totally crossing the line of the boundary that has been established clearly. And this person, to me, I have to sever ties with, because this person just keeps on doing things that to me is very off. And I'm like, I'm not with it. Like, for some people, they're with it. But for me, I'm like, I have a level of professionalism that I give to people. I set boundaries with certain people. If I ain't messing with you, if we didn't meet on no cool level, we met on a professional level, please do not cross that boundary. If I'm not joking with you and I've always had a straight face, do not come in joking me. Cause I'm looking at you like what are we doing? Like, how do you plagiarize my press release and put it in your project and jack up the person's name on the article now and claim it as your own? Like, that's crazy. Like, that is like, who does that? Anyway, so that person, I just was like, keep your information, because the person was trying to send me some item of clothing to promote their brand, and I'm like, I don't mess with your brand like that. Like, I'm good. I bought the 2 issues that came out, and I seen what the latest one was. Didn't like nothing the person had put up of me in there. Didn't approve of none of the images that was put of me. And I was just like, seriously? Like, what? First of all, what's it? Any magazine that has photos of somebody and they have not run it by the person to say, hey, these are some images, can you pick out your best ones so we can put it in or whatever? That's what I would think a professional magazine would do. Not, and with all the time the person had, okay? Because the issue came out now. The pictures was taken in January. Like, you had enough time, ample time to say, hey, can you check these pictures out so I can put it in the magazine, or, you could give me the green light. And then I'll say, okay, let me check. All right, I like this, or I like that. I didn't get none of that. The thing just came out, and I'm looking at all the pictures look like test photos. Like, it just was ridiculous. Didn't like it. Didn't like how it came out. I looked old. Like, I was just like, my face was not even ready. Like, those were test shots. Like, anybody with eyes can see. Like, what the hell? Anyways, so I was like, I'm just not gonna, I'm not dealing with this. Okay, so that's one thing with access. Please make sure you have permission when you do certain things. If you are not, even if you're on good terms with a person, respect them enough to include them. Ask them for permission. That is one major thing with access to someone, is the respect that they need to receive. Everybody wants that. Okay. So now we're going to move on to the phone number. Okay. Giving somebody a phone number is your personal phone number is the ultimate access. Okay. Address and phone number. So now my phone number is one that I'm like, do not give out my phone number. If I have a client, it's a paid client, then I'll give them my phone number so they can contact me directly. I already know they done paid, they are regular, all this stuff. You can contact me, no problem. Sometimes my clients will say, hey, can I give them? I'm like, do not give my number out to nobody. Send out my email address. If you give them my email address, they can contact me via email. We can keep it professional there. When they make a deposit, they can have my phone number. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's levels to this, because some people do not understand. You cannot call you. You cannot call anybody at certain times. You can't just call somebody out of the blue. And some people send text messages. There's no introduction. You don't know who's texting you. Now you got to be all informal, like, who this? excuse me, who this? I don't know who you are. What are you asking for? Like, what are you? And then you got, it's just kind of like now you come off unprofessional and rude because they now have an informal means to contact you. They have your phone number. Like, keep it professional. Send my email. I have a website. Please ask me there. You know what I'm saying? Like, people ask, oh, well, they'll hit you up personally and like, well, how much is this? Look, I have a whole website. Send me an email. We can discuss it there. Please do not contact my phone because I have a lot of things going on. My personal phone is for my family and my friends, and close clients. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really a stickler to that because that is my way. Since I'm an entrepreneur, that is my way to separate business from home, work from home. So if you're calling me about business on my home phone, my personal number, this is now intruding and crossing the line, and I can't have that. So I tell people, please, I know you're trying to promote me and all this stuff. Give them my Instagram. Give them my phone number. Oh my God, this guy, yes. Okay, so now this guy that I know, he did this twice, right? He tried to give my information to somebody. He's like, oh, I'm just trying to help you. I'm like, no, you're not trying to help me. I don't do business like that. Do not ask me how I do business. If you know me, like, say, hey, do you have a Google number or Instagram? I said, hey, give this client my phone number. He's like, oh, this person wants their hair braided, da da da. I gave them your information. I'm like, what information? Did you give them my information? Like, and he's going back and forth with me. I said, give them my social media or give them my website. He's going back and forth. I'm like, why are we going back and forth if you gave them the correct information? Like, and he's like, well, I don't even know the people. So why are you doing this? I didn't ask you for your help. It's not even help. You're giving me a headache. Like, I mean, you trying to be like Prince Charming, like, but you're doing it all wrong. Like, that's not how you do it. You ask me, hey, what is your website? If you know who I am, I have a website. I'm professional. Like, don't be like, do you have all my information. All you got to do is research it. Like, I'm like, and you too old for this. Like, you too old for not knowing how to approach somebody. Like, just because you have access to me and stuff like that, and we're on good terms, don't mess that up with you can talk to me any kind of way or come at me in any kind of way. Like, not everybody is my client, and I'm fine with that. And I know that most of the people that you probably hang out with isn't my client, because I'm like, I don't want none of your clients. Like, there's certain people who want to, promote to their friends about me, and I'm like, your people are not my clientele. They're not my demographic. They're not my niche, my target market. No. So please do not promote me, because then they're going to sit there and be like, oh, that's how much he costs? Oh, this and this and that. And I'm like, look, I ain't got no time for that. Like, if you want somebody to snatch your edges, then fine, let's do that. Go ahead and do that. But don't keep wasting my time. I'm not your stylist. I'm not going to be your stylist. I'm not going to work with people who stress me out. Like, it is what it is. I've been doing this for over 20 years. Like, I'm not going to be sitting here arguing with nobody about my prices or what I do or my styles. I'm like, this is the hairstyles I do. If you want something different, go somewhere else. These are the prices I have. If you want something cheaper, go somewhere else. Or you can save up. Like, to me, it's like, I'm not going to beg nobody, right? So, and that is one instance. Now, that happened last year, last year. Now, this year, he's talking to somebody or whatever, And then he's like, he sends a text message and says, da 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 da, like Karyne, da 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 da, I gave you my, I'm giving you a number, something. It put me in a group message or whatever with somebody that was trying to sell something or whatever. The minute I hear somebody's trying to sell something and somebody gave my number to them, I'm like, bruh, don't do that. If you want to help somebody out, do that. But don't include me because you feel like I will do it because I'm a nice person. Like, do not give my information out to someone who is soliciting. Like, where do we do that at? Where do where you volunteer somebody else's time and money and energy to someone because you did it? Like, I'm like, where do we do that? Where in your right mind think that that's okay? I'm like, I don't know where you, like, I'm like, and I had to tell him, like, don't ever, after he just send my information and spend my information, he calls me and be like, hey, I gave your information. Now, first of all, you're doing it all wrong and you're all the way backwards. I know I had this conversation with you before. He's like, no. I'm like, all right, we're going to have this conversation. Do not give my information out. I do not allow anybody to give out my phone number without my knowledge or my permission. That is my number to give. Like, it's not your number to give. Like, when somebody asks me about one of my friends or my family members, like, oh, how's this person doing? Oh, can I get that person's number? I'm like, no. Can I give them your number? Let me get your number, and then I'll give them your number, and I'll have them call you. How about that? Is there a message that you want me to relay to that person? I'll do that. But I am not at liberty to give anybody's number out to you because it is not my number to give. That is a sign of respect and a sign of knowing your place. You don't, where you get, having someone's number is for you. What you do with that number is how you keep that number. Because if you do not respect how you have that number, and then you have to remember there is boundaries. You cannot call the person any time of the day, send them text messages, blah, 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 like back to back. It's like, yo, calm it down. You have access to me. That is a privilege that can still be what is that? Provoked? No. that can be invoked. I don't know. You know what I mean? It could be taken away. So okay. So, like, especially guys in the street, they be like, can I have your digits? No. Can I give you mine? Can you call me? I'm like, I'm not going to call you. You can give me your number, but I'm not going to call you, like, out of respect. Like, do whatever you want with your number, but I'm not going to give you my number. Like, that is a piece of you, and a person just out of the street on the blue do nothing for it, and then all of a sudden they think that you can trust them enough to give them a number. First of all, nowadays with phone numbers, you can trace the person's address. You can see where they live through their phone number. So it's not like in the past where you can just say, oh, here's my number. People are really on some stalkerish stuff where they find out where you live. Okay, so you got to be mindful with that. And then, I mean, if you try to give somebody a fake number, they'll try to call you right on the spot. You like, oh, well, I'll text you right now. Like, bruh, hold up. Okay, so yeah, so for me, that is big. I'm big on that. I think it's an unwritten rule, and people just don't understand boundaries and access. They think that it's fine and dandy. Everybody, like, no. People have Google numbers for a reason. People respect their identities. There's a whole bunch of scammers and identity thefts that happen currently that you have to be mindful of who you're giving your information to. And now I'm really thinking like, now I got to think about who I'm giving my information to and if they understand that having my information and vice versa, that me having their information, I will respect them enough to not give out their information. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, people always do that. They're like, oh, well, can I get this person's information? Or they, like, nah, not for me. Not for me. You're not getting that from me. When you see that person in the street, or you find that person on social media or something, and you ask them for their information, and if they give it to you, that's fine. But I can take your information, I give it to that person. If they don't call you, they don't call you. I ain't got no problem with that. That ain't my business. You know what I'm saying? So those are the two. I mean, access. Like for me, like I'm very mindful of the access I got. Like I got some celebrity contacts that I do not hit up like all the time or whatever. Like I'm just like, hey, how you doing, kind of thing, and it's months that go by. It's no nothing crazy. Just to check on in if something's happening, especially if you see it on social media, and you're just like, I just hit them up personally, like how what's going on. But a lot of people want to, I try not to be on social media when I'm voicing my concerns or opinion, to that person. So, yeah, it's just be mindful that everybody should be protected. Their phone numbers and their addresses, their information, the access to information like about them, like what are they going through, who do they know, stuff like that. Like if they're having a hard time and they talk to you, that is a privilege. That's access as well, like personal information, because they don't want to tell everybody don't need to know their business. So when people confide in you in certain things, you can't just give that information all freely and willy-nilly on this. Like for me on the podcast, I don't name names and I don't really go dive into people's stories. I'll talk about myself as much as I can. And if I interview somebody and someone's on here and they, want to give their 2 cents on or share their stories, that is fine. That's the access they're giving. As listeners, you have access to our stories, So this is how we share. And it is, of course, limited because it's not all of the nitty gritty, but it's as much as possible so you can understand how we are growing and developing as people, as humans. So I hope you get something out of this, so you understand that when someone gives you some information, whether it be just the personal information on how they're doing, what they're going through, their phone numbers, their addresses, their email addresses, all of that stuff is a privilege. And please ask for permission before you give that information out or share it with someone else. Ask for permission. That shows character and it builds trust. When people trust you, they give you more access. Okay, so be trusting, be someone of integrity, that is respectful to the information that is given. Know that it's a gift and it can be taken back. So be that person. Be that person that actually respects others and their stuff. Okay? So that is my take on access. Please, if you have any comments and you want to share this episode, if you want to tag somebody and say, yes, this is what I'm talking about, do not be giving out my number. Do that. It's just, and I know we're still going real hard and strong in this quarantine right now. So I am here with y'all. I am hanging in there. Still haven't touched anybody's head. And is I'm trying to stay focused and creative and innovative at the same time. I was on Creole Essence, and I'm super happy that last week I was on Creole Essence and I was on Mommy All in One. And basically last week I spoke to over 2,000 people about hair tips and doing a tutorial. So I'm super stoked, and it's just going to get better from here. I just want to share my information with the world that painless braiding is possible, it is necessary, and it is the future. So have a good one, everybody. Have a good night, and I want to say happy Memorial Day. Okay. Yes. So so enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Well, I mean, this is probably the last day since it's a Monday. And stay safe, everybody. Love y'all.
Thank you again for listening to Beauty and Braids. I'm your girl Karyne, and this has been another great day. Until next time, you'll hear from me then. In the meantime, please follow me on @HairByKaryne, @ShopBraidAppeal, and @YTC Nonprofit. Get to know me a little bit better. Check them out. Bye!